What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and today I'm with Pedro again. What up, what up? We are rolling on I-44 in Missouri, and we got a load to Fort Worth, Texas, and so we're going to get a reset. We're ending the week with 4,100 miles, and we did not hit the 4,800 miles that we hit last week, and that's because we had to switch out the truck I was in. And I actually got a new truck, so I am going to be doing a tour of this truck. Once I get home for home time here in a couple weeks, I'm going to have somebody film me as I do a tour of the Millis trucks. And I wanted to do the tour earlier, but I wanted to do that tour for a newer truck, and that way you guys can see the type of equipment Millis has and everything like that, and actually see the brand new year-to-date truck, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. But 4,100 miles for the week. That's still what for the week? What would you make? 4,100 miles? Like
4,100 miles. I'm so bad with math right now. I want to say like 1,700 bucks.
Yeah, 17 or 18, something like that.
Yeah.
So he made 2,100 last week because we did 4,800 miles and 44 cents a mile. And we're going to be hitting 4,100 miles at 44 cents a mile. So yeah, it's like 17 or 1,800 bucks, but that's still really good. Like I said, if you look at the average and you add those 2 weeks together, divided by 2, he's still at 19 plus a week gross. So really good money in training. He's only got 2 weeks left, and he is done, and he will be getting into his own truck, so that's exciting. And are you ready for that?
Yeah, ready for the... So once I get in my new truck, obviously I'm not going to get paid still 44 cents per mile.
Right.
I'll be at, I think they said 55 cents per mile for Southeast OTR.
Right.
And that's for Heartland. And Heartland also upped, I think, the pay rate by a cent. Last I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago. And they added like a little bit more incentives. Like they talk about the green zone incentives and stuff. So if you kind of play your cards right and you get the right routes, you know, yeah, you'll start out at 54, 55 cents a mile, but with incentives, you're ending the week at 64 cents for every mile you did for that week. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm not going to make as much as 5,000 miles or close to 5,000 teaming, but I can definitely do 3,000. You know, being 2 weeks out, 7 days, 3,000 miles, I can definitely do it. Also depends on the dispatcher. You know, you're good with the dispatcher, and you tell them, hey, I want to do long hauls, I want to make the miles, they'll work with you. But if you want to be close to home and you want home time, or you plan on being home, they're just going to keep you nearby. You're going to do a lot of short hauls, and, you know, yeah, you'll kind of get close to a lot of miles, but it's a lot more stop and go and a lot more working, and you lose hours throughout the day like that. So, you know, you'll learn that as you go.
Yep. So do you feel good about these 2 weeks? Like, did we hit what you expected to hit, us doing this, or?
Yeah, because our dispatcher went on vacation, so we had a temporary dispatcher, so they really weren't like on the ball with the whole teaming thing as good as our current dispatcher that was assigned to us. But once he comes back, then, you know, we'll definitely be near that 5K.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll finish after 2 weeks after that, and we'll be good. But I mean, still 4,100 miles between him and I, 1,700 bucks gross. It's not bad. I'm not complaining.
It's not a bad week at all in training.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what sucked about this week is we didn't have, like he said, my main dispatcher, which my main dispatcher I actually have a good relationship with, and if you're going to a company, you need to develop a good relationship with your main dispatcher, because if you do not do that, you are not going to hit great miles every single week. You need to become a salesperson and sell yourself, right? How do you do that? You manage your time correctly. You do favors for the dispatcher. If he needs you to run a local run, you do it. You don't argue about it. You do things for him that make his life easier, or her, do things things for her that make her life easier, and you will get rewarded by your dispatcher. They're going to recognize that hard work. They're going to recognize that discipline. Don't go home all the time. When you do go home, come back the day you said you were going to come back. Don't call in sick all the time. Just basically, long story short, be reliable, and your dispatcher is going to hook you up, okay? Because you make them money. A lot of dispatchers are paid on commission, just like you as a truck driver. You're paid commission, right? So you guys are incentivized to move freight and put in a lot of miles and do a lot of loads, right? Both of you are. But he's going to favor the drivers that are disciplined. He's going to favor the drivers that are reliable, right?
Now, when you're talking about favoring the drivers, we're not talking about like good routes, long hauls, miles. We're talking about flexibility with schedule as well.
Yep.
So a lot of the guys I know that are my friends that are out there doing this for many years, they're like this with the dispatchers. And, you know, those are my fingers crossed, that's my finger. And, you know, they'll be out 2-3 weeks at a time, running it hard. And, you know, companies have their policies. You're out 2 weeks, you got home time 3 days. All right, that's the policy. But with the dispatcher, you could be out 3 weeks hard. They give you 4 days, 5 days. By the end of the day, that's your call if you want that time off. Because remember, while you're home, you're not getting paid. And also, the payment protection plan don't cover time off or home time, you know, or reset time. You know, so I mean, either way, it's good to get with the dispatcher and you know, have that flexibility where they're like, all right, well, you can want to take a vacation or you got a wedding to go to. They're not gonna haggle you. Like, have fun, have a good time, or at the least what they'll do is, all right, if you're gonna do that a month from now, give me 4 more extra days out of your 2 weeks, and I'll give you those 7 days.
Yeah, they'll do that.
They'll work with it.
They will. Like, I have a trip planned. My family and I were going to Arizona for 9 days, I believe I'm taking off. And before I go on that trip, I'm going to do like 5 or 6 weeks before I go out on that trip. Even though it's my vacation time, I'm doing that because I want to put in the work before I ask for the time off, like you just said. And they'll be flexible with you. If you're a runner and you're reliable, like he was saying, like I've been saying, they're going to work with you on everything. They will bend over backwards for a good, reliable driver. So, but I do want to ask, like, okay, we've been hitting all these miles, and a lot of people have been asking, like, hey, can I train with you, right? And I'm like, yeah, you can, but don't expect it to be easy to hit the amount of miles we've been hitting, right? You're going to have to come out here and work. In trucking in general, solo, teaming, owner-operator, doesn't matter. If you do the work, you will make really good money in the long run in this industry. You will, if you do the work. If you're lazy, though, it's going to be average, just like anything. But what do you think about that? Does it feel worth it to do what we've been doing, honestly?
Of course. I mean, the last year and a half, I was an owner-operator car hauler. You know, I was a hot shot. So, you know, I'm out on the road for over 10 hours a day, you know, just pulling cars, loading. There's a lot of labor involved too. It was rewarding to a certain extent. It got me by, but physically, you know, it's exhausting. Getting to trucking is not as exhausting. There's not physical labor involved, unless you're a big guy, you're coming in and out of the truck, then that's on you. But it's worth it. I feel preconditioned to work the hours I am on the road, you know. I mean, granted, I wasn't sleeping in my truck. I was home every day, but, you know, sleeping in you know, your rig is not so bad when you have your own space and stuff like that. I mean, Tyler and I, you know, we make it work. We've got to live together in this tiny little, you know, coop over here, but, you know, we get along. You got to get along with your trainer too.
Right.
I know I could already expect people to be like, all right, I'm hyped, I'm going to get on this industry, and I'm going to get a trainer, I'm going to make miles, but if you're not good with your trainer, you're going to want to quit because you guys are going to bump heads.
Yeah.
So you got to make it worth it, in other words.
Yeah, you do.
You got to have self-discipline, you got to have control, you got to have patience, and man, just word of advice, just get it over with, man. Don't give up.
There you
Just
go.
pull through. Pull through the training, pull through at least your 6 months on the road, OTR,
Yep.
or if, you could pull another 6 months to a year, even better. Because once you do that first year, you're free, man. You're free. You got the experience. You can work anywhere you want. You can do local. You can work for beer breweries. You can work for a flatbed company. Work anywhere you want and have more home time. The sky's the limit where you want to get yourself into after a year.
Yeah.
I mean, some people, they want to stay put. They like Millis. They like Heartland. They'll stay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But the majority of people just getting in, they want to make more money. And, there's companies out there that pay more money for people with 6 months experience or 1 year experience.
Right.
I could easily go from 60 cents a mile with Heartland or 54 mile base pay, and I could go to Crete or some other company out there and make 70 cents or 68 cents, close to 10 cents more a mile.
Right.
I could do that.
Yeah.
The options are there.
Right. If you have a CDL, then you have what's called job security, and you have mobility and a ton of different options of where you can work, especially like you just said, after you get 1 year of experience, which I'm going to give my advice. You don't have to agree with me, but I think that getting at least 1 year of OTR experience, you should do that before you go local or go regional or whatever, because you're learning about how to do the job in any situation, right? Snow, rain, ice, mountains, different cities. You're learning all the different lanes in the country, and then go off of over the road and do local, regional, whatever, right? And that's what I believe. Not everybody does that. Maybe do 6 months. 6 months is like the bare minimum. But my advice would be do a year, then go regional and be home more, right? But get that experience. But once you get that year of experience, whether it's regional or OTR or whatever, like you said, sky's the limit. You can go and be with, like, let's say Millis doesn't work out for me or him, or Heartland doesn't work out for him. Well, guess what? If it doesn't work out and they start treating their drivers like crap, well, we have CDLs. We don't have to complain about it. We can just pick up and go to a different company. And if you're a safe driver, they're going to hire you on the spot, because everybody needs drivers. Every company does, right?
Yeah.
And so we as truck drivers with CDLs, we have power right now to choose. We have those options, and that's a blessing. That's just my opinion about it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you need the CDL and you need the experience.
Yep.
I feel like with OTR, there might be a possibility that companies might see that as an incentive on their end, where they're willing to pay you a little bit more for a year OTR experience versus a year local.
Right.
I don't know how they work. I'm learning too as well, but that's a question, and I wonder. If you guys know, let us know, or let me know. You might know, I don't know. But it's just one of those thoughts in my mind. Is like, all right, well, that can actually affect my exit strategy. If I do a year OTR, then can I expect more pay than someone with 6 months local experience? Sounds like common sense, but you'll never know. I don't know the industry like that, but I mean, that's something that I should look into, or unless you guys know.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, there's just different situations out there, I guess, and nobody really has all the answers at the end of the day, right? So, but at the end of the day, we're just out here running, making money, and like he said, though, he's absolutely right. It's going to be tough with your trainer, and not every day is going to be rainbows and sunshine, right? But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be worried about how much your trainer's making. You shouldn't be worried about anything but getting through, getting your CDL, getting into your own truck, and getting out here on your own. School, training, that's the hardest part. Once you get through that and get in your own truck, it's totally different, and it is worth it. And then the true experience, though, starts when you get your own truck. When you no longer have people telling you, hey, this is what you do in that situation, right? But the thing is when you're on your own, and I truly believe this, you can focus more because nobody's talking to you. So you can just sit there and focus and take your time and not worry about anybody, right? So there's that advantage too. And I've noticed I'm going to transition into something else I'm going to talk about, which is like his progression. Okay, so he's going to do 2 more weeks with me. He really doesn't have to. He really only has like a week and a half more of miles to do, but he's going to do 2 more just so we can make the money and maximize our time. But his progression, like, he's a way better driver now than he was when he first started. Like when it comes to backing, dropping and hooking trailers, strapping loads down, all that, right? Just way more efficient. It's amazing to see the progression. And I don't know how he feels about it or how confident he is about it, but that's what I've seen. And
it's like driving stick shift, man.
Right.
You know, you got to keep it from stalling, but once you get past it and you learn your uphills and get through the gears, it's second nature. You know, I used to get confused with dropping hooks. You know, I forget pins and moving the tandems back and all the little steps. But I get out. It's just an instinct.
Yep.
You know, and then when you hook up, it's an instinct too. Just double check all your tandem, double check your kingpin, make sure everything's locked. Take a gander under there, crawl under there, check your airlines. The rubber seals on the airlines too. Little things like that. Instinct. Just check it. Doesn't hurt. You know, you condition yourself as you practice to a point where it's like it's second nature. You're in and out the lot really fast. You know, you're not lollygagging, walking around like, oh, did I forget this or that, or have someone yell at you like you're taking too long to pull out. But I feel more confident. I'm really comfortable with myself. Doing a lot of long, to the point where he doesn't tell me anything anymore. When we get to a yard, I'm already getting out. I'm working with the receiving people, doing the paperwork. They tell me which way to go in. I back up, set my tandems up, get the straps out of the trailer, let them unload, or if it's drop and hook, and get out. And he really just supervises. He hasn't really said much to me when I do things like that. And it doesn't mean I'm overly confident, because even when it's his time to drop a load or do live loads, I'm still watching him.
Yeah.
You get me? Although I feel confident and I know what I'm doing, I still want to see if I miss anything, or I want to see how he does it, because he's been doing it a lot longer than I have, and maybe I might be doing something backwards. You're never done. Always take note to the small, finer details to kind of just perfect your routine, in other words. But yeah, man, you guys got to have a really good state of mind to get in this industry. I feel like I was talking to him earlier about something, and I know this is kind of off topic, but your mental health, man.
Yeah.
You know, I know in previous videos I mentioned that this is a good escape for people who's small town guy or girl that wants to escape and wants to see the country and wants to make money, kind of figure out where they're going to go from there and build up savings, or maybe you're a desperate future parent, and you need to make the money real fast before the baby's born. Whatever the case, this could be a great startup. It could be temporary, it could be permanent. But your mental health, man, I've noticed, and I thought about it, if you're not there and you're really stressed out, this is going to make it worse. You really have to learn how to condition yourself to calm down, relax, focus, because you got 44,000 pounds of load and the cab's made out of fiberglass. So you don't want to risk anything. You want to be in a good state of mind, you want to be positive, and you want to focus. And before you know it, 2-3 weeks go by super fast, and all my own problems, I'm not thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for that. But you really got to get over yourself on some of the things. If you're a guy who manifests a lot and dwells a lot on things, you might want to work on your demons while you're on the road, because some people I know that will get upset over nothing or easily agitated, and you don't want to do that on the road. You want to be professional, because we get penalized 5 times worse than a regular individual in a regular personal vehicle. Because we're commercial, and not only that, we're being looked down and pretty much controlled by FMCSA. So it's like we're pretty much federally supervised.
We are.
So, state of mind, you want to be positive. You want all your issues. You know, it helps if your trainer is really open-minded and chill. Like Tyler, I haven't opened up to him too much, but you know, I feel comfortable and I feel like, all right, well, you know, I'll listen to him, listen to his advice, focus on my stuff, and you know, you don't have to get personal with your trainers.
You know,
but you know, you want to keep it professional.
Yeah.
But man, like, you want to have good head on your shoulders. I don't know if I make any sense whatsoever when I'm trying to explain.
No,
it's really hard.
It makes sense. You're right, because I think that's one of the biggest things. We could do an entire video on just that topic, honestly.
Mental health?
Yeah, mental health.
Because you can bump heads with your instructor, you can bump heads with your examiner.
And ultimately, like, when you're coming into this and you're new, you got to come into this with humility, right? Your trainer, and there's a lot of bad trainers out there, and I do have a video with my next student that will be exposing some of the trainers that are out there that are absolutely terrible. I'm not saying I'm the best trainer in the world, but I try to be. I try to be respectful and professional, and you know, do my job. Basically, that's what my job is to teach somebody how to do the job. That's it.
We're here for work, man. We're not roommates.
Yeah, we're here for work, and yeah, we're friends and everything. But at the end of the day, your trainer has to sometimes be like, no, dude, you got to do it this way, right? No, I'm training you. Yes, we're buddies. We can become great friends long term. But in certain situations, don't get frustrated with your trainer if they're getting on to you like, hey, do this, do that. They're trying to help you learn, right? Good coaches are hard on their players in sports, right? Bad coaches are players' coaches. They don't ever win anything. So, same thing with training and trucking and any other career field. It doesn't matter, but just have the respect for each other, your trainer, or if you're a trainer, have respect for your student, and that's just how it works.
It works both ways, man.
It works both ways.
You know, both of you got to be a trainer and trainee has to be good with constructive criticism.
Right.
Don't take offense to anything. I mean, I'm a little bit of a hothead because this is who I am, but you know, you might feel sometimes somebody's being petty with you, or might take offense because you might think they're taking it too personal. Just kind of step back and just remember where you're at. Know your place.
Yeah.
You know, because he's had his previous student was a bad experience, and the guy is a whole different story. But
Right.
you don't want to set yourself up for failure where the trainer doesn't want to put up with you and drops you off at the terminal and you're stuck.
Yeah.
You get me? Or you don't want to be a trainer, you know, having to feel some sort of guilt because you made someone feel, I don't know. It's,
Right.
You gotta see things eye to eye. I don't know how to explain it, but there has to be like a mutual like agreement between the trainee and trainer where they're like, all right, we're here for work. We could be friends, but don't take offense to what I say or how I say.
Right.
Take it with a grain of salt and listen and understand what I'm trying to say to you.
Right.
And that's what I do with him. Sometimes he has his mornings where he's grumpy and stuff, he's slamming doors and crap, and I tell him something, dude, people are sleeping, man. But you know what? He listens and he learns. I learn from him too. You know, although I feel sometimes I'm right, I know there's always that 50% chance I'm wrong too.
Right.
You know, and you gotta accept that. You gotta be humble, like he said, and you gotta be ready to, you know, have an open mind and,
Yeah.
you know, come on this truck with your trainer to make the money, you know, with good vibes and a good head on the shoulders, and leave all the stress and everything behind, dude. There's time and place for all that, you know?
It's a business. At the end of the day, you're in a business, okay? Trucking is not a vacation, just like every other career and industry. And you're here to learn how to do something that can potentially make you a lot of money over the course of your lifetime, right?
Potentially, it will make
And it will. If you do the work, like...
Nah, these guys will make the work.
Yeah, the people watching my videos that actually support me and support our videos that we've done together, you guys are great. I appreciate most of your comments. But there was one comment a guy made, and I do want to address this because one guy said, oh, Pedro's getting screwed because he's not getting much training because we're doing so many miles. There's not much training going on. Well, am I not up with you every single time we hit like a major city, or we're in bad weather, or we're at a customer, right? I'm training with you. Even though I'm off the clock, I'm still training you in those situations. And I will say that the more miles you do, the more training you're getting, because trucking is a contact sport, right? You have to do it to learn how to do it. I can tell him what to do, but then he has to physically do it over and over again to where it becomes, like he said, second nature. Okay? And honestly, if he didn't want a team and run it this hard, we wouldn't have to do that. This is his choice to want a team with me. And we both win. I benefit and he benefits. It's a win-win situation. And in life, when you're doing business with somebody, you want to create a win-win situation, okay? Because if everybody's winning, everybody's happy in the deal, okay? So,
yeah, I'm benefiting. I'm benefiting experience, seat time. I'm learning.
Right.
You know, we got like 5 weeks out here, and you know, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
That whoever that guy is who commented that, dude. I'm sorry, bro, but you're not me, dude. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, brother. But I'm learning every single day, and the more miles I get, the better of a driver I am. So I mean, take that somewhere else, dude.
Right. Yeah, like he said, I mean, now it's to the point where I really don't have to stress about, okay, did he hook the trailer? Did he strap? Did he slide the tandems? Like, I'm at that point now where I can trust him to do that, right? The first couple weeks, nobody new to this. You can trust him to do that. You need to be out there watching what's going on. You know what I mean? Because it's new. It's not easy at first. But he's to the point now where he's getting experience and he's more and more confident about what he's doing. So team driving, like we've been doing, is easier because I don't have to stress as hard when they're new. You know what I mean? And so, but at the end of the day, I don't see how making $2,000 to train before you even get your job in a week, how is that bad? How is he getting screwed over making $2,000 in a week? You name me one other company or really one other trainer that's making their student that much money in a week, because I do not have to do that. I could say, no, dude, I'm only doing 11 hours a day. We're running one clock. That's it. I could do that.
But we were doing that.
Yeah, and
that's because I had my permit.
Yeah, it's permit.
But once I got my CDL,
yeah,
then we hit it.
But I wouldn't have to do that. Even with your CDL, I'm the trainer technically. I can just be like, no, dude, we're not going to push it that hard.
I hope that guy comments back to see.
Right.
I want to understand where his mind is at. Maybe he has a different perspective, or maybe he's misunderstanding. Right. I'm a little curious. What engaged in his mind to make that comment? Like, well, I want to see his perspective or his point of view. If you're watching this video, you tell me on a comment what you mean by that.
Right.
Where are you going with this? Because it seemed a little vague. Oh, you're not getting enough training with 5,000 miles. What is that?
What does that even mean?
Elaborate, bro.
What does that mean? Yeah, I mean, look, you're out here to make money at the end of the day, okay? You're out here to better your future financially. That is why people get into this industry. They also do it for the lifestyle, but the main reason they get in is to make good money so that they can fund whatever they want to do. A lot of people, including like myself, like me and him, we have different goals for what we want to do in this industry. I don't know all of his goals. He doesn't know all of mine. But eventually, I want to be an owner-operator. Eventually, I want to expand from that. Well, I'm in this business for the long term, right? But some people want to get into this business to just have a good job, make good money, and invest in other things outside of trucking. Whatever that thing is, man, stick to your plan. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Worry about what you're doing. And if you get with a trainer who is willing to run real hard and quasi-team with you or whatever, and train real hard, like, do it. Maximize your time while you're training. Make as much money as you can. It makes sense, right? Why waste your time? That's how we look at it. You know? I mean, don't you want to make the most out of what you're doing out here?
Of course. Trust me, I like to be home. I got a motorcycle, I got a car, and I love driving, and it's like, yeah, I could be doing that, enjoying life on the beach or whatever, or, you know, with people I care and love, but right now, sacrifice a little bit of your time to actually gain ahead.
You do, man.
That's what I'm doing right now.
He is. And I always try to tell him that. Like, when he's like, you know, I don't want to be out 4 weeks at a time. I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that, man. Once you get your own truck, you can go regional and be home every 2 weeks, be home every weekend. Like, there's so many different options. You come to Millis or Heartland or really any major company.
I was saying that because I was just getting into it. I was just starting. I was just starting. So my mindset was, I just want to stay local, be home every weekend, whatever. But doing OTR, honestly, I mean, it's my personal preference. I'm comfortable with it.
Right.
And the money is, I'll be making twice as much as if I was local or regional.
Right.
Maybe not twice as much as regional. It really depends. It depends. But it changed my decision with Heartland from going local regional to Southeast OTR.
Right.
So I already spoke to my recruiter and I told him, hey, I'm leaning more towards this now because being on the road, I'm used to it. And you know what? Since I'm used to it, why not make the extra money?
Yeah.
You know, I could do a week, 2 weeks on the road, and with the flexibility to do another week or extra days on the road to make the extra money so I can have more time home in between.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm good for it now. So.
And see, you don't have to do even that forever. You can go do local for them or regional for them because they got local positions. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, this goes for any industry, or I mean, sorry, not any industry, but any company. There's going to be different options at big companies. You don't have to be over the road your whole career. And we want to make that clear. Like, he could do that Southeast OTR for a year and then switch to regional to where he's home every weekend, right? And I believe that Southeast OTR, you're out 2 weeks, like you said, right?
It's called US Southeast OTR. It's kind of so when you go to the website, it's very similar to the actual USA All 48 OTR. They only do certain sections. They got USA OTR All 48 East, Midwest, Northeast, Southeast. But you know, you guys got to go on the website and look it up. It's kind of hard to explain.
Right. This is for Heartland.
This is for Heartland,
not Millis. But if you come to Millis and start out with, you have to go through their school, the Millis school, MTI, to even get hired on to Heartland as a new driver. If you're an experienced driver, you can just call Heartland directly or Millis directly. Doesn't matter. But if you're coming as a new person getting into the industry, then yes, you have to go through MTI. But at orientation, you get to choose whether you want to go with Millis or you want to go with Heartland, right? And really, it doesn't matter either way. I truly believe that they're both a good decision. That's just my personal opinion. So, whatever works for you, whatever situation's best for you, you choose that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, we're just chilling right now. You got anything else to say? No? All right. Well, that's pretty much it. We've dragged this video on for a long time, but that's okay. It's all right. We appreciate you for watching the video. If you stayed this long, like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out some of the other videos that are about to pop up, and yeah, check out my Instagram as well. The link to that is in the description below. God bless. Thank you for watching, and peace out.